To find the area of a regular polygon, you're going to use the formula A equals 1/2 times the perimeter times the apothem. This formula is very easy to use, and many of you have never heard of this before, the apothem. The apothem is the distance from the center of the shape to the side, and it has to be perpendicular. So you'll notice in both of these examples, from the center to the side, and it's perpendicular. This right here is called an apothem. It's very similar to a radius, but a radius actually goes from the center to a vertice, whereas an apothem goes from the center to the middle of the side. We're going to use the apothem in this formula. So for the first one, to find the area of this particular shape, I noticed that, well, it's a pentagon. The fact that it's a pentagon would mean that it has 5 sides. So for me to find the area of this shape, I need to take area equals 1/2 times your perimeter. And the perimeter can be found by taking the number of sides times one of the sides. Because it's a regular polygon, all of the sides are the same. And since this right here is a pentagon, there are 5 sides. 5 sides times 12, because each side is 12, 5 times 12 ends up giving you 60. So 60 is my perimeter. So I'm going to take 1/2 times the perimeter, which is 60, and I'm going to multiply that times my apothem, and my apothem is 8.3. So just like you, I would grab my calculator, and I would take half of 60 and then multiply that by 8.3. So grabbing my calculator, I would take 1/2, which is 0.5, times 60 times 8.3, and that gives me an area of 249. And because it's not labeled, I'm just going to use units squared. Okay, so 249 units squared. And that would be the area of my first shape. For the second one, I'm going to do the same formula. So area equals 1/2. And if you're wondering where I'm getting this formula, I'm getting the formula from right up here, times the perimeter. Since this shape right here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Since this shape has 7 sides, it's a heptagon. And because it's a heptagon, it has 7 sides. 7 times 10.6 is going to give me my perimeter. So if I on my calculator take 10.6, which is one of the sides, and I multiply it by 7, this shape would have a perimeter of 74.2. Okay, so I would take 1/2 times my perimeter, which is 74.2. And then I would multiply that by my apothem, which happens to be this right here, which is 11. So on my calculator, I would take 1/2, which is the same as 0.5. I would multiply that by 74.2, and I would multiply that by 11. And that gives me 408.1. So I would write 408.1. Okay, 408.1. And because, again, this isn't labeled, I would use units. So units squared. So that would be my area, 408.1 units squared.